And welcome again, once again, ladies and gentlemen, back with another episode of IBL Unscripted. I'm Srivastava. Joining me today from the Kitchener Panthers is their manager and manager of the year, Bill Matetich. Bill, thank you so much for joining us. Wanted to get the update from you on the state of the Kitchener Panther franchise. Hope you had a great off season. I know you just recently celebrated your birthday. It looked like you had a great time down south playing some golf. You've taken your mind off everything else before you get back into the Panthers season.
Thanks for having me, Neil. I appreciate everything. Yeah, the off season has been pretty busy. Just got back from South Carolina last night, so it was a great week away.
Nice.
With my other half, golfing and whatnot. So down in Cuba for Christmas for two weeks and a bit. Went down to see our Cuban players.
Nice.
And
did a little bit of scouting.
Yeah, a little scouting. Mike's obviously got that well under control.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, so it was nice to spend some quality time with our Cubans down there also.
Excellent. So let's just start. Well, I guess we'll go around the infield and everything else. Let's start with the infield, and we'll work our way out to the outfield. And what you guys see as far as you finished second place last year, and then you ran into a really hot Barry Baycats team who just seemed to get going at the right time in that second round, and they were able to knock you guys out pretty easily. But again, I think your roster by that time was also pretty diminished because of school and other commitments as well. So it wasn't the same Panthers team that you would have seen early August as well.
No, that's true. And, so one of the things we started out with last year was to change the culture, change, the dynamics of the team a little bit. Year by year, we're going to be doing that. And,
yep.
We brought on some great guys last year, like Marcel Lacasse, who was basically our playoff MVP, kept us in that London series, as you know.
Yep.
Elliot Curtis, great bat. Unfortunately, Elliot was suffering from some injuries with the ankle, which diminished his movement left or right, at third base or even at second base. So, we had a really good, strong team last year.
Yep.
We've got, obviously we got perennial all-star at first base again, Liam Wilson.
Yep.
Tremendous leader, tremendous all-around ball player. At second base, we've got, Stephen Whalen is back.
Yep.
And
he's at Windsor doing his teacher's certificate, isn't he?
He is.
Yep.
Correct, yes. So he's excited to be back. I believe he was one of the first guys that signed this season. Shortstop, obviously, we've got Raul Gonzalez back. Raul had a great year in the Cuban National Pro League down there. So he's excited to be coming back. Taking over at third base will be Nick Parsons. So Nick's just a great ball player, defensively, offensively. He's having a good season down at school.
Yep.
So we're excited to have him there. And the nice thing about the infield is everybody moves around. Like I can place Raul at second, Nick plays first base, Steven can play third base, etc. So, we've got those key parts. And obviously behind the plate, we've got Junior back behind the plate. Everyone knows what he can do defensively.
Yep.
He had a pretty good offensive season last year towards the middle half end of it.
Yep.
But he's been working out hard. He's been learning English.
Oh, that's good. That helps a little bit.
It does. It's helped me not have to learn Spanish as quickly as I was.
You can't exactly run out to the mound with Google Translate in your hands. Here, listen to this.
No. It was a little tough last year, but it's always been tough with the Spanish guys, but they've been pretty good. But yeah, so we've got Junior back behind the plate. So the infield's going to be solid again.
Yep.
And as you know, Neil, the previous year to last year, we made 90 plus errors.
Yep.
We cut that down into the 60s last year. So, we've made some good strides. There were key benchmarks that we wanted to achieve last year.
Yep.
Cut down on errors, cut down on the, our ERA went from 9.43 to 5.
Something, yeah.
Or whatever it
was. A lot better.
I wanted to cut that down to the 5s last year, which we did with, improvements to the bullpen and the starting pitching. So, it was a good year overall.
Yeah, it was. No question as far as that goes. And, of course, in the outfield, you have Jet Jarvis returning, you have Andy Leader coming back, and you have Blake Jackson all coming back. And the guys are going to be another year wiser and everything else. But I think that's probably on paper and just what I've seen defensively in this league. That's probably the best 3 outfielders in this league. That's not taking a slight against anybody else. It's just how these guys get to baseballs and everything else. That's just how they do things.
Yeah, they cover a lot of ground out there, right? They're smart. They're they're great offensively, especially Blake and Jet. 2 kids, still junior age. Blake's not, but
Jet's still got another year, I think.
Yeah, they've got all-stars behind their names now, right?
Yep.
So, they've had some pretty good seasons in the 300-plus batting averages too, and then you throw on the defense. It's a good problem to have when you got 3 solid guys out there that can cover every inch of the outfield, and we've got we got a good up-and-coming kid. I still see Klaus as a good outfielder. He's a big boy. He can run. I'm expecting big things from Klaus this year as a second-year player.
Yep.
I think he got his feet wet fairly decent last year, and so he's another kid I'm going to challenge to take it up a few notches.
Yep.
And we've got the juniors that we're going to be working with, obviously, and see what we can do there, but introduce them to the IBL.
Yep.
So
let's switch gears and let's go to the pitching staff. Who do you expect back? Who's not coming back?
Right at this moment. So yesterday it was announced that Michel Perez.
Yeah.
Apologies.
No problems.
Was having back surgery. So he's been suffering through a bad back most of he was suffering from bad back when I was there.
Yep.
So, so we were fortunate enough to pick up a replacement in Nikhil Cruz.
Okay.
Who's a 6'1", 180 hard-throwing left-hander. So, and he's only 24 years old, Nikhil is.
Yeah.
So, played for the Matanzas with Yamichel, and also played for the Cuban national team. Very high rating for him over there. He was one of the kids that was recommended to us. So we're looking for him to pick up Yamichel's spot seamlessly.
Yep.
Yadian Martinez is coming back. Yadian had a great year in the Cuban League.
Yep.
We've got at this point we're expecting Christian Hawk to be back. We've got a few other guys that we're looking at bringing on. We won't announce yet.
No, just keep that to yourself. So don't want to spoil everything here. So don't want to tip your hand either.
No, we're still in the process of that. But and same on the bullpen side, we've got Daniel Marquez is coming back.
Yep.
Who had a great great first year with us overall. Breaks a ton of bats, heavy fastball. He's going to be another late inning guy.
Yep.
Jack Anderson, who was out all the way until the playoffs last year with his injuries and came back in the playoffs. Saw some duty in the playoffs, but was not 100%. Obviously, he just started in August, basically.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to him. He's a big left-hander for us out of the bullpen. We're hoping the rest of our, Brady Schnarr, Jordan Bonnick at the back end, 8-9. And that's the nice thing, right? Is I've got a lot of interchangeable parts for the closing role.
Exactly.
I got Schnarrzy, Bonnick. I've got Vasquez. We're expecting Jose to come back. We've got Marquez that can fill in.
Yep.
Anderson can fill in. Like, they're all hard throwing, good substitute pieces for that 7, 8, 9 role. And then we've got Nate Lairden, Brett Reed, Adam Robertson. David Brunsma all coming back, so we've got about 8, 9 relievers.
Yep. Especially when you're playing, you're playing 3 days and 3 games and 3 nights, pretty much every weekend now. So.
Yeah, exactly. So so we've got another. There's one more starter we want to pick up. We're hoping that will come to fruition with the one gentleman that we're trying to sign. That will solve that spot, and. So I'm just looking for one more long guy who can transition between reliever and starting.
Which is nice to have. Exactly.
Yeah, so biggest part is the bench, right? The bench is where we took some hits last year in the playoffs. We were thin in the series against Barrie.
Yep.
we had some injuries against London. A little bit of guys were starting to feel the injuries from playing 6 games basically in 5 days.
Yep. Well, yeah, pretty much with the rain out and the double head. Well, not really a double header, but it was pretty much a double header. Took its toll pretty fast.
So guys were a little worn out. Elliott was suffering. We had a few guys, but we don't make them as excuses. It's just it's reality. It's the IBL, and and give Josh and everybody credit over in Barrie. They had a great playoff. They had a great season. Also, it was neck and neck all year with those guys.
Yep.
And Josh is a great guy. So I know they're building again.
They definitely are. Yes, we'll have him on the show later this week, actually. So he'll probably go through there and everything else. But yeah, it's just even when you get to the postseason and you're used to seeing, maybe you see a guy's 3-4 guys in a rotation, but all of a sudden you're seeing, when you face the Barrie Baycats, you're seeing Frank Garces, and then you're seeing their number 2, and then you're probably going back to Garces for 3, and it's not very easy for a team like yours or any team in general, just that caliber of pitching, try to go up there, and if you're not hitting against the guy the first time, it's in the back of your head. You're going up there in game 3, and you're going, still can't touch this guy's fastball. What's he doing?
Well, you look at Garces, but you look at the series before that with London.
Yep.
With Boone, right?
But Boone is just absolutely. I don't know, that robotic arm of his. I don't know. It's just like, thank goodness it finally ran out of gas, but still.
You know what? It was in all my years of being around the IBL, etc. It was one of the gutsiest playoff performances I've ever seen.
Oh.
And I said that to him after Game 5. I said, that was something to watch.
Yeah.
I just every time I kept thinking he was going to wear down. He never did.
No, he found that other gear, or he found a way to push himself through it. That extra inning and give Roop a couple more outs here. When he came off the mound, it was just like, okay, you might have a chance here, but you're still down. I think you were down 3-1 or something at that point anyway. So it was like, okay, you still have to find a way to get it done, but at the same time, it's just you tip your cap to the guy on the other side of the field and go, heck, that's a hell of a performance.
You know what? It was a great storyline for the IBL last playoff, I thought, with what Boone did. And Roop's teams are always, they're 2-time IBL champion.
Yep.
We knew going into it, we're the kids who were, trying to establish themselves. And,
yep.
it was a good stepping stone. And that's what we wanted to do last year. That was one of our benchmarks. Make it out of the first round, establish ourselves from game 1 last year all the way through the playoffs. Really at the end of the day, a little bit of injury, a little bit of bad luck against Barrie in game 1.
Yep.
Elliot Curtis's ball stops right at the
fence.
We would have won that game.
Yep.
But you know what? Our hitting overall, we set a goal last year. We hit a lot of home runs, but the goal was to hit a lot more, steal bases. Now, when Blake Jacklin left, that was a hole that we learned.
Yep.
We can't afford this year.
No.
Blake's going to go back to Eastern Tennessee and, come August again. And we need to have that hole filled.
Yep.
So that's one of our points that we need to fill. But, Raul went from hitting 370s, whatever it was last year,
yep,
to 190 or whatever, 198, 189 in the playoffs.
Yep.
Everybody kind of just dried up. And 2, we just didn't put the ball in play a lot.
No, it seemed like you guys were waiting for the big home run somewhere or something to lift you as far as that, rather than finding a way to get on base, get a single. The next guy on the chain moves the next guy over or something like that. But I think it just, in those situations too, you can kind of lose that focus too, because again, you're just so used to, okay, somebody's going to hit a home run here. Don't worry, somebody will pick us up.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you look at the series against London, had Marcel Lacasse not hit that. I think he hit the grand slam in London. He hit the 3-run homer in Kitchener. We may not make it out of that series.
No, exactly. And that series, it was the 2 versus 7 in the IBL has always been a weird series. Like, it's always just, I don't know. It happened to Guelph the year before, and it's just like, I don't know.
We were in Hamilton.
Yeah,
right? We were in Hamilton. We upset Guelph in the first round there in Game 5. So it is a kind of a scary one to get into, that 2 versus 7. But at the end of the day, you stick to what got you there all playoffs. You should be fine.
Yeah,
right?
You have to.
So it was a great learning experience for the guys. They hadn't had a lot of success since the heyday run.
Yep.
And we had a lot of fun last year too.
Oh,
on the field, off the
you
field.
could definitely tell just by the attitude and the atmosphere as you came into the ballpark. The guys were a lot more loose. They're having some fun during batting practice. They have music going on. They're all chirping each other for their song selections, but that's okay. Yeah, it's all fun.
Yeah, songs are another story.
We know. We know.
At the end of the day, Neil, though, one of the things we wanted them to do this past season was to go out, have fun, trust yourself, and be positive.
Yeah.
Right? 2022 doesn't exist anymore. When we met last February to start this journey, and we just kept preaching to them. You know what? You guys have to have the confidence to want to be in this league.
Yep.
I can't hit for you. I can't throw for you. I can't do anything for you. You need to know that you can do this, and they did, right from indoors. And thanks to the leadership that we had with Liam and Andy and the rest of the group. They led the way, right? So, that was what we started with, and even after we were put out, we were pretty dejected,
yep.
But we were happy that 2024 was going to come around the corner and build off of what we put in place.
So what's going to be your message going into 25 or 24 season as far as when you guys get that big meeting? I guess have you had the meeting yet, or are you going to start the workouts soon?
Yeah, we're starting in March this year, just because we don't have a lot of guys that are back yet.
Yep.
So we're going to be doing that in March, but it's basically going to be the same thing as we started last year. We're going to keep the positivity. As I keep telling guys, you know what your weaknesses are. I can see your weaknesses, what I need you to do, and I've already had individual meetings once the season was over with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Certain guys, I challenge them to come up with another pitch.
Yep.
What you went with last year may not work this year.
Yep.
In my opinion. We challenge guys to better themselves in the off season because it is a grind.
Yep.
And it's great to have a core nucleus like guys like Liam, Andy, the guys that are out there day in, day out, but we're only as good as the 28th guy on our team.
Yep. And
that's what I keep preaching to guys. So like Klaus Appelvich, for example, right?
Yep.
Klaus is he's a work in progress, but you can see he's had some good moments for us playing the outfield, at bat, and he's got a good attitude, and
mm-hmm.
So keep working on your game, right? When you went back to school at at Laurier, I believe it was.
Yep.
Work on whatever you need to work on in those games in the fall, and then transition that into the workouts in the winter, and then bring it to the game when we start. So there's a lot of guys that we're we have a lot of chats with over the off season. I have chats every other week with someone.
Yep.
Picking my brain about something, or I'm going to go work out with this guy, and what do you think of this therapist or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we do that sort of thing also. But we will in March we'll have a team meeting and go through what we're expecting again for 2024 to raise the notch, right?
Yep. So what do you got on Mike Boehmer's shopping list as far as right now, as far as just more depth and as far as the bench goes, or? Yeah,
so a backup catcher.
Yep.
Good young backup catcher would be ideal.
Mm-hmm.
We need one more infielder. I'm looking for a bench, strong veteran IBL guy to
mm-hmm.
bench, who can also spell off guys at different spots in the lineup every night. So like last year we had Humberto Ruiz come on our lap.
Exactly.
And he was a great IBL guy. He was a great teammate,
yep.
and defensively he was pretty good in left field.
Yep.
He was when he can make it there. He's the type of guy I'd be looking for
mm-hmm.
the outfield, and not going to find another Elliot Curtis, but somebody can play a good defense in the infield.
Yeah.
Give us a few at bats, etc. So. We've got some junior guys that we're gonna, obviously be back also, but we'll go from there and see what we can find. Mike does have a lot of guys that are contacting him in the off season.
Yeah,
who want to come over to Kitchener. We're we'll have our workouts and tryouts
Yep.
in March, and see who best fits in. Because we've had a lot of guys that want to come over. Some guys, we're always looking for the right fit.
Yeah.
The culture.
Well, exactly.
And a good character guy.
Like you don't want to rock the boat here as far as bringing somebody in that a lot of guys don't get along with here, because it could just be bad. It could be absolutely bad.
Yeah. Well, especially when we're preaching positivity, right?
Yep.
And it's huge in baseball, a game of failure, right? So
Yep.
we want to make sure that we're, and I kind of go by the 5 pillars that, we've talked about in the past, and so we just want to stick to those and not bring a guy in that's going to disrupt the boat.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Anything else we forgot to touch on that we should probably plug a little bit or touch on a little bit before we wrap up?
Yeah, you know what? We we have a great merchandise relationship now with VMF Sportswear.
Yep.
They're redoing our whole merchandise.
Nice. Very nice.
It's now on our website, so people can, fans or whoever, can go on our website now and order our.
I'll definitely tell Jenny. I'll tell Jenny she wants a few Panthers things. So, as you can see, the wall behind us doesn't have anything Panther merchandise either. We're like, we got to get something for the wall.
We'll have to do that for sure.
Yeah.
So we got new uniforms through custom uniforms through
nice.
VMF Sportswear, which. So Vito, who's VMF Sportswear,
Yep.
He does the Barry Bay Cats.
Mm-hmm.
So Josh put me in touch with
Vito.
Yep. And so we're able to. So Andy, Liam, and a few of the guys designed the new uniforms.
Oh, nice.
And so they'll be. Then we're looking at a 3rd jersey, which we're still working on a sponsorship for.
Yep.
So to have it like a City Connect.
That was actually when the Jays announced theirs. I actually was thinking about what would each city have as far as their City Connect jersey in this thing. So, who knows? Maybe we should have like a contest in the league or something. Just if you already design one for your city here, and give them a couple ideas.
Exactly. Yeah, and I know Vito with VMF. He's come on board with the IBL now.
Yeah.
He's sponsoring the Manager of the Year award.
Yeah.
He's also, I think he's going to be the official supplier.
I think for various things. Yeah.
Yeah, great individual. He's given us all, we're getting all the player bags also for the guys from him.
Nice.
We're having a golf tournament May 11th. I think we're doing it right before the Saturday before Mother's Day.
Yep.
And the Rob Thompson event. I'm not sure if I saw you, if you were there or not.
I was unfortunately sick that week, so it's just like I didn't want to give everybody what I had. It was like, no, I want to go, but I just don't want to give anybody that stuff, especially when Jamie Campbell was here too. I'm like, oh no, don't want any of that going on.
No, exactly. So that was a great event. We had a blast that night. We raised some good money between us and the museum.
Yeah.
And so we've got some other things that we're working on over the winter for the guys to better their player, their experience.
Yeah.
So, more to come. And as you are, I'm in the dark also.
Yep.
The Monday morning.
The Monday morning announcement. I was just like, did I miss something here? And I go through my emails. I'm like going, no, I didn't see anything. So we'll find out Monday morning like everybody else does.
The funny thing is I reached out to Mike Beamer last night, because I got back and I seen this post and I'm going, Mike, what's going on?
Uh-huh.
And he goes, I don't know either.
Great.
I'm trying to think of who in this organization.
Who knows in this organization? I'll have to reach out to Bill Pegg today and say, what's going on?
So it's funny when you asked me this morning. So,
yeah.
But yeah, so no, everything else, you know what? Everything's on schedule. We're excited to get going. Can't wait to get, we're the opponents for Chatham's first home game.
Yep.
That'll be fun. Dom Donnell's,
Dom is I called him PT Barnum, and he's just got some great ideas as far as what he wants to do on and off the field here. So I think
you know what, and quickly to wrap it up, it's what the IBL is becoming, right? You've got great people in Welland doing that.
Yep.
You've got the new owners in Toronto. I'm sure are gonna raise the game in Toronto. Yep. We've got Chatham. We got London does a great job all the time. Hamilton with Eric and everything.
Yep.
So I love seeing the league grow like this.
Yep.
Compared to when I played, it was,
I remember rolling into Stratford in the middle when my first couple of years in the '90s with the Royals, and I was just like walking to Stratford and go, wow, okay, this is the IBL. Then you go to a place like London, and it's like, what the heck? It's like eye-opening. It's like night and day.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, it's great. It's great to see the league growing the way it is right now. We've got the new commissioner. We've got, a lot of things on the go with Rawlings, et cetera. Yep. So it's a great time to be part of the IBL. And, it's I can't wait for the next number of years to see what it becomes even after I'm out of this league. So,
well, hopefully it's not anytime soon, Bill, because you still got to pick your brain up on a bunch of stuff and get all the stories recorded at some point from those early days.
You know what? I'm having a blast. I got to tell you, Mike Beamer, the board, very, very supportive. Mike's a blast to work with, and we talk every day.
Yep.
I think the only time we didn't talk was when I was in South Carolina this week.
And it was probably because he wanted to give you some time to relax and just have some family time too. I mean, he's very cognitive of that stuff too.
I like to decompress a little bit, because it's between my business and family life and baseball. When those three things are in order, and I'm in pretty good state. So
that's awesome.
Headspace. So
yeah.
So that's where we're at right now, Neil.
Well, I do appreciate you taking the time as always, Bill. Well, I know we'll be chatting very soon. We'll probably talk later this week once we find out what's going on Monday morning, anyway. So we'll definitely chat there. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll chat again real soon.